Hi guys, it's me, Indiana Jones, and welcome to my channel, Crafting with Indiana Jones. Today I have some wonderful vintage-inspired DIYs, and if you like Johanna Parker, you'll definitely like today's video. Let's get started. For this first DIY, I'm going to use one of those cupcake tins that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And the first thing I do is go outside and spray paint it black. And I do a little bit of speckling with some copper and orange paint as well. So you can do that either inside or outside, however you want to do it. Next, I got these wonderful, cute little vintage, retro, nostalgic cutouts for Halloween. I mean, these are images that you see all the time, the black cat and the orange pumpkin. So I thought this would be perfect to add to my retro cupcake tin. Now, the cool thing about doing this craft, this cupcake tin craft, is wonderful to do when you're getting to the end of the season, because you can take your favorite items that perhaps you didn't really incorporate into any of the other crafts that you created and just place them in here. Now, a trick that I use is I use little wooden blocks from Dollar Tree, or you can use wooden beads just to lift up any kind of images like I did there with the cat, so it wouldn't fall into the tin itself but be on the side, because I wanted that to be showcased. And all you have to do is add little items, like I'm adding here a little scarecrow that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree, and I loved it, but I didn't know what to use it for, so I'm using it in here. Any extra little pumpkins that you have, scarecrows, those little, those fairy garden, like they have little cats and little brooms, anything you like. And it's so much fun. Like here I'm using some stickers as well that I got from the Dollar Tree. So I have an owl that I put on a branch, and there it is appearing on this beautiful golden moon. And again, it's up to you. What a wonderful way to keep your family busy on Halloween. Or the kids, if they're like, oh mom, let's go trick-or-treating, let's go trick-or-treating. You can give them a tin and give them items that they can put into each of the, of the different areas. This is a great way to keep them entertained if you have a Halloween party, and that way they have something that they can go home with. It's a cute little memory. And again, it's $1 for the tin, and any of the items that you have or that other people have that might bring to the party, it's so much fun. Here I made a little broom. You can make little things, make your own little broom. I made little potion bottles from those little tiny glass bottles that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I mean, the sky's the limit. Oh, and I made these candy corns. Those are not real candy corns I'm gluing in there. Those are candy corns I made with foam clay in a previous episode. So if you can check that out, I think it's in my faux foods episode. I think I have a link over here somewhere. Anyway, just finish it up. Add any kind of ribbons or buttons. Buttons are a wonderful way to add to this. I have a little ghost button that you can see I added there at the bottom. And now I'm actually using a cupcake liner, a Halloween cupcake liner, to create a little rosette at the top of the cupcake tin. And I'm adding some buttons and some ribbons, creating some bows, whatever you like. And again, any colors that you like. It could be themed, it could be anything you like. And there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. If you love retro and vintage Halloween decor, you've come to the right place. I am part of a beautiful retro vintage Halloween playlist that is being hosted by Monica, my friend from Up All Night DIY. We have many other crafters and creators that have joined us on this nostalgic adventure back in time to celebrate Halloween. So check out the rest of the playlist. So this next craft, I would call it more Victorian, maybe Day of the Dead, but it could also fit into the retro vintage feel. Here I'm taking some little skeletons that you can get on a garland at the Dollar Tree. You get 4 on a garland. And I'm taking one of these fabulous fans, the Spanish fans from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm actually going to dress. They're called Dressy Skellys. I'm going to dress up my little skeleton in that beautiful black and red, laced kind of fabric. And I didn't want to go, I don't know, I just saw it there and I said, I'm not going to use this fan for anything else, and I have a couple of fans here at the house, so why not, use that fabric for this little dressy skelly. And I also love the little flowers. And now when I looked at it, I was like, I didn't like that yellowish kind of bone color that they have on these little skeletons, so I decided to go ahead and paint them white after the fact that I've already dressed them, but it's okay. We got it done. Now I'm just adding some more embellishments that I cut off from her dress and just, making her as pretty as I can. Now, if she's all pretty, I couldn't leave him, without getting dressed up. So here I'm using some of this black and white striped tissue paper to give our gentleman here a very dapper look by creating some slacks for him and a vest. I didn't go crazy and create a jacket, maybe I should have, but I thought a vest would be enough. And all you have to do is just dress them up. It's easy to dress up these little skeletons. So of course, I gave him a little bow tie. And what's this gentleman going to be without a top hat? So of course, I made him a little top hat. But once I made him a little top hat, I had to add something more to her. And here I am comparing the two. I was like, wait a minute, now I feel like she's underdressed. She needs something more. And of course, well, she needs some eye sockets. So after I'd painted it white, I decided to darken the eye sockets, and you can do that and darken the teeth a little bit. And here I am using some lace, some beautiful gold lace. I created a little crown for her. So I think that really put it over the top. And again, you can embellish them in any way that you want. These are your little dressy Skellys. And so I'm just getting them ready for a wonderful romantic Halloween date. You know, let's do it that way. It's a Halloween date that runs into Day of the Dead. Now, here's a clever way to use those ribbon spools. You might have empty ribbon spools all over the place, and you're like, what do I do with this? I don't want to throw it out. Well, this is for a lady, a very sweet lady that asked me, what do you do with your ribbon spools? Here's something you can do with your leftover ribbon spools. I covered it in this cobweb paper, this scrapbook paper, and then I used one of those rounds from the Dollar Tree, styrofoam round, and the wonderful black and white check paper that I also got from Hobby Lobby. And I thought, what a perfect floor. I thought that was just a perfect dance floor. And that beautiful Harlequin ribbon around the side of the styrofoam just to hide the styrofoam. I think it's such a perfect combination. And I really, really love that black and white check. A little bit of, you know, Mackenzie Childs, and I don't know, I thought it was fabulous. So here I am creating their little dance floor. And if you wanted to, you can add this and put it on top of, you know, one of those little taper candle holders. I was thinking of doing that as well, but you know, if you can't find a taper candle holder, you can use one of your ribbon spools. Now, using a toothpick, I was able to, or a skewer, whichever one you want to use, I glued the skewer to his leg, and then I skewered the styrofoam so he would stand in place, and of course I glued him down as well. So for this lovely lady, I also glued a skewer to her leg and then skewered her into the styrofoam. And now I'm just gluing their hands together because I felt like they should be holding hands. And what's more, they should be dancing. So I was able to bend their arms just by heating the joints, the elbow joints, with just the tip of the hot glue gun. It just heated it up enough for me to be able to bend it over, and there you have it. They're dancing on this beautiful dance stage. I hope you try this out as well. Next, I'm going to create something called a Mussie Tussie. I know, it sounds funny, but it's cute. It is. The word is cute, and so is what it is that it becomes into. So here I'm taking this polka dot paper, again, from Hobby Lobby, and this striped paper. And the reason I'm using the striped paper inside is because I didn't want the inside to just look white. Because what we're going to create is a little cone, and it's going to have that peaked area. You'll see it now when I close this up, and all I do is create the cone, and just glue it down. Now I'm using a hot glue gun. You don't have to use a hot glue gun. You can use, you know, paper glue, any kind of glue that you prefer, but it's just what I had handy, and I don't have patience to wait for it to dry. Now I am taking this, believe it or not, this was a graduation cap that I got for 90% off, so it really came out to like 10 cents, and I am taking that fringe because that fringe makes it look so vintagey. To me, it looks very vintagey. And if you buy spiders at the Dollar Tree, they use that same kind of fringe. Now I'm going to create a medallion by crimping up the paper. Now I have to use a long piece of paper to be able to create the medallion. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's just folding it up like you're making a fan, like crimping it up back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I'm going to like spread it out so you can see the round medallion. And it looks really pretty whenever you use this in vintage decor. And now I'm using these Johanna Parker cutouts. I'm going to have that available in my link below so you can print it out for yourself. And these are free printables that come from Johanna Parker. And there you can see the medallion. And again, I used the same trim to add my little black cat. And now I'm going to add the medallion to the front of this Mussie Tussie. Now in this Mussie Tussie, you can put anything you like. You can put a little skeleton in there. You can put little toys for Halloween toys. Or you can put candy, of course. You can put wonderful candy. Now I've decorated it with some of my faux foods as well, like some of my fake candy corns again. And I think it just looks darling. It could be hanging off of a Halloween Christmas tree, or just give it to a friend. It's such a different way to give candy to friends and family and loved ones if they're coming over for Halloween. And I just think it has such a beautiful vintage vibe. I hope you incorporate this into your Halloween decor as well this year. Now for this next craft, I'm using one of those styrofoam cones and a styrofoam ball from Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to use my famous and happily used foam clay. What I'm going to do is recreate one of Johanna Parker's critter cupcakes. I think that's what they call them, critter cupcakes or character cupcakes. And this is going to turn out to be one of those little black cat cupcakes. So all I do is I put the styrofoam ball on top of the styrofoam cone that I had cut off. I've cut off probably 1/4 of it, the very bottom of it. And now I'm just placing the clay on top as if you would use it like fondant almost. And I'm just covering all of the styrofoam with this foam clay. And what's very cool about this foam clay is because it's foam, it acts together, or it, attaches itself to the styrofoam so easily. You don't have to use glue. And now I'm going to create the ears, because this is going to be a little black cat, one of Johanna Parker's little black cats. I love all of her designs. I hope you do too. It screams vintage and retro, anything Johanna Parker. And I think Bethany Lowe is another wonderful crafter that also creates this beautiful vintage retro look. And I'm so glad that this has come back to haunt us this Halloween, because I don't know, I don't like very scary Halloween. I like the cutesy, spoopy, as they used to call it, spooky kind of Halloween. It's cute, it's fun, but it's not too scary or gross or gory for the little kids. So there you go. I've added the ears, and now I'm going to create some details around the eyes. And of course, I'm going to create a little nose for it as well. Now you do have to wait a little while for this to dry. I would wait at least 4 to 5 hours for it to dry completely. Now what I love about foam clay, once again, is that it does not crack. Not the same way as air dry clay does. And to paint it, it's a dream to paint with acrylic paints, because it's such a bright white color when it dries, not like the air dry clay kind of becomes a little grayish or something. The colors just pop on this material. It's wonderful. I really, really love it. So once I've created little embellishments, the ears, the eyes, and I create the eye sockets for the eyes themselves, I'm going to put this aside and let it dry for about 6 to 8 hours. Now, while I was painting this cute little cat, I have to tell you that my own cute little cat decided to join in, because it just was very curious as to what I was doing all night. And especially when I guess when it saw a little kitty cat face. So here is my professional advisor. That's right, Kuru, K-U-R-U. She is adorable, and she just wanted to sit there and watch as I paint. It was the most adorable moment, and I had to share this with you, because I mean, what's more Halloween than creating a little black cat with a little black cat right there in your arms? She is the sweetest little thing, and she has really filled my life and Luke's life with a lot of joy, just watching her and her little sister Luna running and scampering around the house. But she really loves to be with me here in the craft room. Well, I was very grateful to have some kitty cat supervision as I created my little Halloween vintage cat. Now here I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole project. Of course, I'm staying with the very basic Halloween colors of black, orange, and white. And of course, to make this really look vintage, we have to add that beautiful bright yellow. As you can see, I'm using just using a Q-tip here to make the little yellow eyes for this cat. And as I said before, I made a divot in the eyes so that you can see how they are exactly eye sockets. Now I'm brightening up the little kitty cat smile. And now the last touch is to add some details with some bright white paint. So here I'm adding the details of the eyebrows and whiskers, and of course outlining the ears. And this is what really perfects that vintage retro look for this kitty cat, and I'm so happy with it. I hope you try something out like this as well. Now, for our next step, let's see what else we have to do. Now again, I've let my little character dry overnight to be absolutely sure that it's all dry and nothing is going to mesh into each other. I did add a little collar with a bow tie, and I added a little bit of, I guess like icing cream on the sides or on the top of the cupcake itself, just to make it look more like a cupcake. Last but not least, I used these chenille stems to create my little legs. And of course, I used straws and beads, and I created my little legs and my little arms just to make those creepy appendages finish off this cute little vintage cat. Thank you once again for stopping by and sharing some time with me, and I hope you are inspired to add a little retro vintage flair to your Halloween decor this year. Thanks again to Monica and to all the other crafty creators that are part of this playlist. And thanks to all of you new subscribers to my channel. Thanks to you, I was able to reach 13,000 subscribers before October 31st. That was my wish, and I guess my Halloween wish came true. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you. And remember to live the adventure. And if you liked this adventure and enjoyed it and want to come back for more, please subscribe below. I'll see you again very soon, and keep it spooky.